Good morning, good evening, good afternoon everybody, and especially Judge Charlene Honeywell, whose name will be in the title of this video. Now, I did a couple of videos about Charlene Honeywell about 8 months ago. In fact, if you search her name here on YouTube, you will see, well, I certainly see in my search that my previous 2 videos about her and the Markle versus Markle case, they show up top. And I've checked on other people's devices in other areas and they show up top. So I mean, you guys can check. Go and have a look. Judge Charlene Honeywell and see. Now, if someone made a video with my name in it, I would for sure go and watch it. I would for sure become aware of it. And so I feel quite confident that Judge Honeywell has seen my previous 2 videos, which aren't really of any particular legal value whatsoever. However, I did point out in one of them that it was far, in my opinion, far too early to dismiss Samantha Markle's case. And it would appear that the judge is curious. And I also made the point that quite often as things go on, a case can actually strengthen through means of, as I understand it, you guys in the States have something called discovery. So I feel and I would hope that Judge Honeywell would want to go to discovery just out of curiosity herself to see if the court's being misled or if anyone's misremembering anything or if there's anything really pertinent in there. And that's often what I've found is my experience with courts. Or when you go to talk to a lawyer, you know, everybody's question, will I win or will I lose? And a lawyer can never really say, well, you're going to win, you're going to lose. They'll give you a balance of probabilities based on your particular case. But I'm sure all lawyers know the same thing. As cases go along, you know, witnesses are liable to say anything. Evidence can be viewed in many different ways. And things chop and change along the way. And no court case is just a straight line from bringing a case to victory. It's just not like that. There are lots of twists and turns and things that come out. And I have the sensation, especially from listening to LadyC last night, that the judge is interested and wants to consider everything. And I was interested when LadyC said the judge objected to the word only being removed from transcripts, because apparently no transcripts were submitted. And then the defence said, oh, Samantha Markle didn't submit a transcript because she knows that would be devastating to her case. So then they sort of wrote a transcript up, but their transcript wasn't exactly the same as the actual transcript, and the judge picked up on that. And the other thing that's interesting is, and I do feel that Judge Charlene Honeywell will watch this video, isn't it an interesting moment about a few weeks after I laid myself open as a fly trap, if you like, for sugars and death threats, and these fanatical fans of Meghan Markle, who a lot of them are associated with Christopher Bouzy, who did feature on her Netflix show of which she had full editorial control. Even though, as I understand it from LadyC, Meghan's lawyers tried to distance Meghan and say she had nothing to do with that Netflix. What the fuck? Oh my God, seriously? How can she say that with a straight face? How can her lawyers say that with a straight face? When I believe it was Archwell was a co-production company with another production company, I forget the name of. But Meghan was most definitely involved in the making of that. It would have been hers and Harry's choice to include Christopher Bouzy, a whole dedicated episode to Christopher Bouzy. Now, Christopher Bouzy, I believe, has been named in Samantha Markle's claim. Judge Honeywell is familiar with the name Christopher Bouzy. Judge Honeywell, are you familiar with the name Sarah Data? Are you familiar with the death threats? I wonder if Judge Honeywell, I mean, if someone made a video about me, like I said, go and watch it. And if they made a video saying, I'm opening up on X, I'm going to have a presence on the platform X, formerly known as Twitter, I'd probably go over there and I'd probably follow that. Because Judge Honeywell knows that I'm going to make further videos and she'd want to hear what I've got to say. Of that I'm certain, because that's what most normal people would want. Judge Honeywell is not a celebrity in her own right, so it's not like she's someone famous like, say, Elon. You make a video about Elon, millions of people make videos about Elon. This is different. She's a professional, a legal professional. she would be interested. So there's every likelihood she follows me on X, and if she doesn't, perhaps Judge Honeywell, you could pop over there. I'll put a link in the description and pin it in the comments for you to see my pinned death threat from a sugar called Olivia Cromwell, who worked with, I think that account's actually either been suspended or it's been deactivated, I don't know, haven't heard anything from it in a while. And the sugars would dearly love me to unpin the death threat. It's actually a double death threat. I long for the day when I can put a bullet in yours and Graham's head. And she copied in the Metropolitan Police in London. For the life of me, I don't know why. So perhaps Judge Honeywell could go and have a look at that. And then she will probably ever more so think, I really want to get to the bottom. Let's have a look at discovery. Let's at least take it to discovery. I always have the option to dismiss the case at a later date, presumably. Judges have that as they go along. So that will be interesting. I don't think those sugars really want the good judge to see the crap they do in Meghan's name. Oh, there goes one of my earrings. Don't know where that went. I think that it's something Meghan would want to distance herself from. Isn't it interesting? She wants to distance herself from Christopher Bouzy. Oh, I had nothing to do with that Netflix. I didn't make that. I didn't make that. Yeah, it was your company. Yes, you are responsible for that. You have final edit, you have final approval, final cut before it goes to air. And knowing the type of character that Meghan is, she's quite a fastidious character. Would she really let anything go to air without micromanaging and checking every single detail? I don't think so. Now, the other thing about this court case and discovery is, and again, for the judge, surely if Meghan were innocent, she would be the first to want to be up in court and clear her name and say, enough with this nonsense, I've defamed nobody, I've done nothing of the sort. Surely she would be happy to do that. I don't know. I guess we'll only find out if she goes to court. Now, talking of the Royal Grift, I watched her video today and she picked up on something because Harry and Meghan said it so quickly. I completely missed it. They both independently admitted, and I'll put a link to the Royal Grift's video on it, and it's towards the end. It's definitely in the second half. They each independently admitted that they have been working with social media companies in the background. What does that mean? Having people's YouTube channels taken down? Having people demonetized? Having people silenced? Could any of that come out in discovery? I wonder. Because how does discovery work? I mean, it can be emails, as I understand it. It can be WhatsApps. They can interrogate certain witnesses. I really don't understand. I'm sure it's very, very complex, and I'd really appreciate any of you guys who've had experience of it, if you could explain to me in the comments below. Because couldn't someone, if they're asked to hand over a load of emails, just delete them and say they don't exist? How does the court know that? I mean, is there a mechanism in place to prevent that? That is something I need your help with, because I don't know anything about American law, let alone Florida law. But it does sound from what LadyC was saying. And of course she's got to be very careful what she says, because the enemy listens as well. She sounds hopeful to me, and LadyC has had a lot of experience. And I don't think she's ever lost a case, actually. So, you know, I hold her in quite high regard over these sort of matters, and I believe she is friendly with Samantha Markle as well. So she will be hearing intricacies and details in the background. Obviously she can't talk about, but she does seem quite positive about this. And it does appear to me, from where I'm standing, and I'm just a viewer, okay, just to make sure that one person roaming planet Earth who thinks we're all journalists on YouTube, I'm just a viewer. I'm just talking about my opinions as a viewer. So it would appear to me that it's all sort of falling apart for Meghan. Now this could be a big thing, and the mainstream media are not really covering it, are they? I mean, if you search Samantha Markle, it comes up, but the mainstream media seem to be more interested in whether Harry and Meghan have been invited to a birthday party or not. I mean, for God's sake. Apart from anything else, I mean, really, who cares? Really? This is very important, I think, this case. Very, very important. And we could be about to get to the crux of the matter. But it all really rests on Judge Charlene Honeywell and whether she allows this to go to discovery. And as I did say in the previous video that I made about her about 8 months ago, I just feel it's far, far too too early. Because there are certain types of people who like to muddy the water, do not like things being scrutinised in the correct timeline or being questioned closely. They like to change the wording, change the order of events, change the fundamental facts, and then mix it all up and make it totally confusing. So please, Judge Honeywell, I beg of you, please allow this to go to discovery. Thank you all very much for listening, and as always, you know what to do in the meantime.